Okay, today we're talking about the perfect signature scent. This was actually Grace's idea. We were on a walk, we were talking about an idea for a video to do together, and she came up with this idea of the perfect signature scent. In fact, I love the way you described it. Do you remember what kind of the criteria you had for what it would be?
Well, I was specifically thinking of something that you would grab every day, so something that you really enjoy. For me, I like something that maybe is not going to be overpowering, because if you're working with people or if you're in and out of an office or, having lunch with friends, you don't necessarily want to overpower the room. And so that's what I like in a signature scent, but I do like to have it around. So it's that combination of having a presence, having something to say, but not being so abrupt or over the top that it takes over everything. So presence, soft and long lasting, which is kind of an interesting combination.
Yeah, but very possible. And we have fragrances here that achieve all of that. We believe they check all the boxes. Now we can take this video into so many different directions in terms of types of scents. So we wanted to add a little bit of clarity. This is kind of a pilot. So if you guys want to see more like this, do let us know. This video is going to focus specifically on what we're considering classic fragrances. And we are making the dichotomy between men and women. And we have specific profiles for men and women. These are very classic. They're historical. So for men, we have something that is generally going to be aromatic at the top. It might have a bit of a floral heart, and the base tends to be rich and woody. And for women, we went with a couple of different ideas, but both are very common. We have the fruity floral, and we're also calling something the creamy floral, which is something we just kind of made up earlier, but I think you'll know what we mean. So we're going to dive right into it. No particular order here, so if you want to pick one from your side.
All right, so I'm going to start with a fruity floral from Argos called Pallas Athene. This truly does meet all of those criteria that we were talking about. It has a really bright fruity top.
It does.
Do we want to smell it?
No, it's just gonna hold the bottle.
Okay.
Just kind of like eye candy.
And I don't even remember all of the notes.
It's fruity and floral. There's a bouquet of florals in here. You have rose, you have hyacinth, you have maybe even violet. So there's like a sweeter floral presence, but I think the rose is most prominent. That mixes with red berries. Not the most sweetest, fruitiest, juiciest fruity quality. It is a little bit almost tart in a way, but mostly sweet. And you have a bit of a green quality in there. I think one of the florals brings that. And the base, there's even a little bit of like a vanilla feel. I feel like there's this creaminess that kind of rounds it out, but it is mostly a fruity floral. I think it's a pretty dense and rich profile, but without overwhelming. It's extremely long lasting. It just smells very elegant.
Very elegant, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, totally. But not terribly serious. It's that perfect combination of smelling interesting, but totally wearable. It's not something you're gonna spray on and second guess like, oh, is this too much or is this gonna be weird? You're just gonna smell really put together.
The other thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning that I think is essential for a signature is you can wear it for any occasion. And so that's something else that we really thought of when we picked these. You can dress them up. You can wear them when you're just around the house. You can wear them to lunch with a friend. You can wear them to the office. That is a classic function of a signature.
That's the perfect description.
Obviously, this is on Grace's side. For the ladies, and ladies, you can definitely wear this, but this is totally unisex. It was created to be unisex, but it is more of a floral personality. So guys, if you're interested in that, you can check it out. You don't have to commit to getting a full bottle. Argos does have a great discovery set. It has all of their fragrances available to try, and you can always save some money with the code FRESH10. Get a little discount. Pallas Athene is one to check out if you're looking for a classic signature that's still very interesting. All right, first one up here for me, for the men's side, is not very new to the community, but I think it stands on its own as something that everyone will be talking about for a long time. It's just a fantastically composed fragrance from the house of Xerjoff. They call it 1861 Renaissance. And this has been a favorite of mine for a long time. I actually reviewed this fragrance like 6 years ago in my car from a little sample. If you want to go back and find that video, you can.
That you had.
But I've loved it ever since then. I only got a bottle as of the last year or so, and I've been talking about it a lot ever since. This fulfills the category for me. This is aromatic at the top. There are citruses. There is a lot of mint in here. It's very cooling and invigorating. You do have a little bit of a floral heart. It doesn't come off as smelling like flowers, but there's something soft about it. But it's not a slouch of a scent because the base is pretty robust. There's even an ambery type of warmth to it. There's something about it that is kind of simple, but it's still complex. The way it changes on the skin throughout the day, and it will last all day, is really beautiful. But when you spray it on and you wear it, it doesn't smell completely unlike anything you've ever smelled, but it's still quite different in its own right as a citrusy, bright profile. One that's easily wearable for all situations, as a signature should be. And again, it will be with you all day. So that is Xerjoff Renaissance. We definitely recommend sampling this. We'll have a link to something down below, possibly Decan X. So check it out.
The next one from the lady side, I am going with Mmasi, which is more of the creamy floral that we talked about. This actually has some white florals in it. I think jasmine, tuberose.
I think there is tuberose.
The base is so warm that it sort of wraps everything up in this really cozy, warm, sweet, creamy, delicious feel.
Definitely some vanilla in there, I think.
It's been definitely one of my favorite fragrances we've gotten, I think, in the last year. I've grabbed for it a lot. It's definitely been a signature choice for me, and I've put a little dent in it.
Yeah, it's so easy to wear. It's very characteristically feminine. I think it was created to be that. As a personality, you take it for what it is. If you like it, men, then you can wear it, of course. But it is delicious and floral all at the same time. There might even be some almond in there. Add into a bit of a gourmand quality. But overall, very easy to wear. Just smells beautiful in the air, even maybe a little intoxicating. So definitely check out Mmasi. We're gonna have a link down below. They have a great one for men as well, which we've talked about several times. Up next is from the house of Roja Parfums. Not one I talk about all that much, but it suits this category too perfectly. And he calls this one Goodmans, simply Goodmans. Honestly, it may not be for everyone because there's a little bit of an edge to it. There's a little bit of an interesting edge that's tucked away in there from some very subtle animalic notes. Tucked away in the base, but overall it's very aromatic, almost sharp and piercing in its citrusy quality. Definitely some floral quality rounding out the heart a bit, but overall bright, rich in a way, mainly from that base, which Roja makes very rich base notes. There's so much going on at the bottom of the fragrance, but again, a little bit of civet or something like that. There is some animalic presence, but it gives it character, it gives it personality, but doesn't detract from its wearability. It's very easy to wear, but it might come off a little bit more mature smelling. The younger guy may not really reach for this, but if you want to have people treating you seriously, if you want to be taken with some kind of authoritative presence, this will definitely contribute to that. And you can wear it anytime, anywhere. So one to get a sample of, don't blind buy it because it's not cheap. None of his fragrances are cheap. Get a sample if it sounds interesting. If you're looking for like a citrusy aromatic scent with a little bit more character to it, check out Goodmans.
Okay, so this is actually hilarious. We did a video, we picked out fragrances for each other to try blindly and see if we guess what they were or rate them or something. Anyway, you can watch the video, it's great. I didn't even know we had this. It was just in the back. And so I pulled it out. It is Jasminisha
from Moresque.
Yes, and it's amazing. When I smelled it, I was super surprised. Absolutely loved it. I ended up wearing it the next day, maybe a couple more days that week. And it is super delightful. It's definitely more in that creamy floral space.
Lots of jasmine, maybe even some orange flower in there. It is a little fresh, perhaps a little bit of freshness in there, maybe some spices like ginger or some citrus, but mostly white floral, smooth, creamy, rich with a beautiful base to it. And overall a little different, I would say. Maybe not the most complex. You wore it, so would you say that it like changed drastically when you wore it?
It's definitely not the most complex.
But a lovely personality for what it is, a little bit unique in its own right. And definitely something that could be easy to wear if you do like white florals, and something that you can wear anytime. It'll last you through the day. and it's gonna just smell beautiful. It'll be easy to be around. So
I think what stands out the most in it is the ginger.
yeah, that ginger is right at the top. It adds a little bit of zing to it in a really interesting way, mixing with florals. You don't really put those two things together all that much, but it works here. So do check out Jasminisha from Moresque if this sounds remotely interesting to you. All right, the final fragrance I'm going to talk about, this is from a brand you don't hear a whole lot of talk about, from Italy, called Nobile 1942, and they call this fragrance Ponte Vecchio. And this is in homage to the Ponte Vecchio. There we go. The Ponte Vecchio, if I'm not mistaken, is essentially a bridge crossing, I can't remember the name of the river, but I think the river is in Florence. And it's a very historical bridge because it was a kind of a place of commerce. A lot of shops and stores have been, or maybe still are, on this bridge, and they still use it as kind of a central place. I actually rediscovered it recently. I've had it for a few years, and I'm like, I forgot about this fragrance I put in the video not long ago. Again, classic profile, aromatic, a little bit of florals, and definitely a deep woody base. This is based on a lot of geranium, so there's a minty floral quality to this, kind of making it both aromatic and floral. A little bit of iris in the heart as well, adding a nice softness, but not overly powdery, still mostly fresh, and a lot of vetiver in the base. So quite an interesting combination. Dry woody at the bottom, still comes off as quite masculine, but not a super strong personality. Easy to wear. This is going to be for any disposition that you have, whether you're kind of quiet and like to keep to yourself, whether you feel like you take a more authoritative role. This fits all those personalities, and it's just interesting. So looking for something that no one's really talking about here on YouTube, because on YouTube we talk about the
Same stuff over and over.
You want something different? Check out Ponte Vecchio, get a sample. Once again, we're just trying to broaden your horizons. We're not saying you have to go out and buy these semi-expensive fragrances. Just get samples if it sounds interesting to you. So that's Nobile 1942 Ponte Vecchio. All right, that's it for us. We want to know what you guys think. If you've tried any of these fragrances, let us know what you think down in the comments. If you have plans to try them, there are links in the description, as we always have. Some little discount codes sprinkled here and there, so save some money. And thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe.
Like the video?
Like the video if you like the video.
Let us know if you like this concept. If you want us to do a signature series, we were talking about that, so.
Yeah, we have different directions we can go in terms of signature scents. And so we have some ideas. Let us know. Peace. We'll see you in the next one.